Today we are going to discuss about the cultivation method of Isabgol. Isabgol, having a scientific name Plantago ovata, is with a chromosome number twice and equal to 8, which is an important medicinal crop traditionally grown mostly in North Gujarat during Rabi or winter season. Isabgol and Isabgul in Hindi and blonde psyllium or sposal seeds in English is a short stem annual herb that grows up to a height of 30 to 40 centimeter. A large number of flowering shoots arise from the base of the plant. The word Isabgol was originated from the Persian words Ishab and Gol, that means horse ear, which is a descriptive of the shape of the seed. Isabgol is also called as psyllium, originated from a Greek word for a flea, referring to the size, shape, and whitish color of the seed. Now let's come to origin and history of this Isabgol. It is a native of the Mediterranean region and West Asia, extending up to Shatlej and Sindh in Pakistan. It is also distributed in Canary, North Africa, Middle East, and Northwestern Asia. In India, it has been introduced and cultivated in northern Gujarat and adjoining parts of western Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Now let's discuss about the geographic distribution of Isabgol. Isabgol is grown, produced and processed as maniform in health-related pharma companies of the world. It has a global importance in USA, Russia, Canada, Germany and many other Asian and European countries. In India, it is spreading in non-traditional parts of the country such as Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka. India is the sole exporter of Isabgol husk and seed to the world market. At present, the crop is grown in an area of over 50,000 hectare land. Now let's come to the economic importance of Isabgol. The seeds are sweet, astringent, refrigerant, emollient, mucilaginous, diuretic, laxative, anti-inflammatory, antidysentic, expectorant, aphrodisiac, roborant and tonic. The Isabgol husk is used mainly for treatment of stomach disorders, tridosha, burning sensation, habitual constipation, strangury, gastritis, chronic diarrhea, dysentery and colonelgia. Besides this, nowadays it is used in food industries for preparation of ice creams, candy, etc. Seeds are also used as an animal feed. Let's see the soil and climatic requirement congenial for Isabgol cultivation. First, let's see about soil type. It grows well in sandy loam to loamy soils with a pH range of 7.2 to 8.5, but it avoids soils with poor drainage. Climate. Isabgol is a rabi crop and needs a cool and dry weather during growth period. The temperature requirement for maximum seed germination is reported to be 20 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius, whereas at the time of maturity, it requires about 30 to 35 degrees Celsius temperature. It requires 50 to 125 centimeter annual rainfall. Coming to cultural practices of Isabgol, the soil tillage and land preparation is made as follows. The whole field is subdivided into small plots of suitable size depending upon soil types and slope to facilitate irrigation. Isabgol seeds are of small size and requires a fine and tilled soils for better germination of the seeds. A plot size of 8 to 12 meter by 3 meter is desirable for light soils. Now let's come to seed sowing. Sowing time. Early sowing of Isabgol increases more vegetative growth and susceptibility to downy mildew disease, whereas late sowing reduces total growth period and increases risk of seed shattering due to pre-monsoon rains towards maturity. Hence, the last week of October to second fortnight of November is considered to be an ideal time for sowing of Isabgol. Let's come to seed rate and spacing requirements. A seed rate of 4 kg per hectare is found optimum for good plant stand. Higher seed rate increases susceptibility to downy mildew disease. Line sowing at a spacing of 30 by 5 cm is required for maintaining a good spacing. Seed treatment. For good germination, fresh seeds should be used after treating with mercuric compounds at the rate of 3 mg per kg seed or 4 kg per hectare. Since the seeds are small and light in weight, they should be mixed with sufficient quantity of fine sand. Now let's come to sowing method. Direct sowing by broadcasting is a common practice followed by the farmers since long time. However, in line sowing, row to row and plant to plant spacing give better yield over broadcasting and facilitates better intercultural operations. The seeds are very small, hence it should be mixed with soil or sieve farmyard manure for easy sowing. Now let's see about the cropping system followed in this Isabgol cultivation. The following crop rotations are being adopted in various parts of India. That is, soybean followed by Isabgol, maize followed by Isabgol, and sorghum with Isabgol, groundnut with Isabgol, and maize, Isabgol, green gram. Now let's come to the varieties developed under this Isabgol crop. Gujarat Isabgol 1, that is GI1, is a variety having the yield potential of about 800 to 900 kg per hectare. This variety is available at MAP unit, Anand Agricultural University, Anand, Gujarat. The second variety is Gujarat Isabgol 2, that is GI2. The yield potential under this variety is 900 to 100 kg per hectare. This variety is available at MAP unit, Anand Agricultural University, Anand, Gujarat. The third variety is Gujarat Isabgol 3, that is GI3, with a yield potential of about 1300 kg per hectare. This variety is available at Spices Research Station, Jaguda, SD Agriculture University, Sardar Krushi Nagar. The fourth variety is Jawaharlal Isabgol 4, that is MIB4. This is having a yield potential of about 1300 to 1500 kg per hectare. This variety is available at MAP unit, College of Horticulture, RVSKVV, Mansur, Madhya Pradesh. The fifth variety is Haryana Isabgol 5. This has a yield potential of 1000 to 1200 kg per hectare. MAP unit, CCS, Haryana University of Agriculture, Hisar, Haryana, is providing this variety. The last variety is Niharika, which is having a yield potential of 1000 to 1200 kg per hectare. This can be available at Shimap, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Now let's come to manures and fertilizer application for Isabgol. Application of 20 to 30 kg per hectare nitrogen and 15 to 25 kg per hectare of phosphorus is optimum to achieve higher yield of Isabgol. Potassium can be applied where the soil are inherently deficient in potassium. Half dose of nitrogen and full dose of phosphorus are applied at the time of sowing. Remaining half dose of the nitrogen is applied at 40 days after sowing as top dressing. Now let's come to water management or irrigation. In sandy loam soils, generally 3 irrigations are required, each at sowing time, and 30 and 70 days after sowing to harvest a good yield. The last irrigation should be given at milking stage. In the drier region with light soil, more irrigations, that is about 6 to 7 irrigations may be given. Since plants can withstand low level of salinity, hence slightly saline water, that is up to 4 deci-Siemens electrical conductivity can be used for irrigation purposes. Now let's come to weed management. The first weeding is very critical for crop weed competition and must be done at 20 to 25 days after sowing. Pre-emergence application of isoproteron at the rate of 500 to 700 gram AI per hectare is recommended to control the weeds effectively and increase the profits. Now let's come to plant protection measures. First, for diseases. Downy mildew. This downy mildew is the major disease of Isabgol caused by Pernospora plantagenes and cause severe yield loss if not controlled. Early sowing, higher seed rate, higher dose of nitrogen and frequent irrigation makes the crop more susceptible to this disease. Now let's come to management. Seed treatment with metolazil, that is Apron SD, at the rate of 5 gram per kg seed, and spraying of metolazil and mancozeb, that is Ridomil MJ 0.2% together at 10 days interval is advisable. Now let's come to insect pest management. Aphids or Apis gossypii, which is the major insect of Isabgol crop. Aphids generally appear 50 to 60 days after sowing. To control this, application of neem-based formulations is preferred as a control measure. However, 2 sprays of 0.025% oxydimeton methyl, that is Metacistox 25 EC, first during first fortnight of February and subsequent spray at an interval of 15 days are required to effectively control this insect. Now coming to harvesting, threshing and storage, the crop should be harvested in the dry weather and not in rains or early in the morning when there is dew on the ground. Isabgol begins blooming 2 months after sowing and become ready for harvest during February-March. The crop takes about 110 to 120 days to mature. When the crop is matured and husk turns yellowish and spikes turn brownish, the seeds shed when the spikes are pressed lightly. The crop should be harvested when there is dry atmosphere by cutting the plants 50 cm above the ground late in the morning. The produce is threshed and seeds are separated. The seeds are sieved until they are cleaned. To remove the husk, the cleaned seeds should be passed 6 to 7 times through stone grinders. Seeds and husk are graded according to fineness. Husk is of the grade designed as 70 meshes. The highest quality husk is white with no particle of red kernel. Airtight bags are ideal for it. Isabgol must be packed in poly or nylon bags to prevent the entry of moisture. Seeds and husk should be stored separately. Seeds tend to lose viability under ordinary storage conditions. Godowns are ideal for the storage. Cold storage is not, however, good for it. Seeds may be marketed whole or the husk may be sold separately. Processing of husk from seeds is done in mills. About 25% husk is obtained on wet basis of the seeds. Isabgol husk is removed by grinding and then purifying with sieving the mixture to separate the husk from the remainder of the seed parts, or by blowing the husk away from the impurities. The produce must be packed into clean and dry sacks, ensuring it as a clearly labeled one. Storing the produce in a clean and dry room and use of rat poison and fumigation should be avoided in the storage rooms. As per the trader's view, the Isabgol seeds has longer shelf life. The dry seeds can be stored for 8 to 10 years. Yields of Isabgol. On an average, the yield of Isabgol is between 800 to 1000 kg per hectare seed. However, higher seed yield of about 1500 kg per hectare can be obtained from medium textured soils with better crop management practices. Isabgol straw yield is about 1200 to 1600 kg per hectare, which is generally obtained. Now let's see about the marketing and processing avenues of this Isabgol crop. Marketing takes place through commission agents or processing mills. During processing, seed is passed through series of 6 grinding mills to separate out the husk from the seed. The total recovery of the husk is about 30%. The husk from last 2 grindings is of superior quality. The dehusked grain is sold as animal or bird feeds. Isabgol processing factories are located at Sidhpur, Patanugha and Palampur in Gujarat. Now let's conclude the discussion on Isabgol. India is home to many medicinal plants with diverse forms of species of the plants. Hence, cultivation of medicinal plant is a means to boost up the growth of pharmaceutical industries in the country. Employment avenues and other opportunities of work related with cultivation of Isabgol and post-harvest value addition in the Ayurveda system of medicine is of utmost importance. Using scientific technologies and improved package of practice would enhance production of Isabgol in India. With the increase in demand for raw materials for manufacturing of medicines, promotion of cultivation and popularization of Isabgol in the country is mandatory for speedy economic growth on health-based development sector of India.